Hello again, YouTube. It's Skylar. Welcome back to my face. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what's coming next for my transition journey from male to female. Now, before we get into it, please remember to subscribe. We're only 39 subscribers away from hitting the milestone of 500 subscribers, which is a huge goal for my channel, as I've had this channel now for over 7 years, and that is a pretty significant amount for me, especially because when I started this channel, I didn't think I would even get any subscribers at all. So that's a pretty big milestone. Now, with that out of the way, if you're new to my channel, my name is Skylar, and I'm a transgender woman, and I've been documenting my transition since basically the very beginning, including things like hormone replacement therapy and gender-affirming surgeries. So if you haven't seen my previous videos, I've basically been about a decade into my transition now. I've had hormone replacement therapy and several different gender-affirming surgeries. And if you are used to seeing my content, you may be asking yourself, well, what's next? What's next for Skylar? Because while I think it's important to have goals set in mind, it's also important to remember that transition, especially when it's gender transition, is not something that's a destination. It's more of a journey. And what I mean by that is that it's not really a place that you arrive at. It's just something that you continue to grow into over time throughout the rest of your life. So there's never really going to be any specific point where I'm like, I'm done transitioning, it's over. I mean, I'm a lot farther along than I was before, but that doesn't mean that, my journey just stops at that. So some of the things that I've considered going forward are the FFS surgery, facial feminization surgery, which is a facial reconstructive surgery for trans women who would like their facial features to be more feminine in nature. I haven't had that surgery yet because it's prohibitively expensive. And so most likely going forward, if I do plan on eventually getting that surgery, I may need to look abroad to other countries for more affordable financing options. And another thing that I was considering too was voice training. Now, I've tried doing voice training throughout my entire transition, but I've never really been exactly committed to it. And it's because voice training itself, if you're not familiar, can be a very dysphoric process because it requires you to examine the pitch of your voice in recording, and for a lot of trans women, that can cause a lot of anxiety because you try to avoid the things that make you dysphoric, not directly confront them head on. But over time, by alternating things like your voice pitch and the position of your larynx and all these different things, you can emulate a more feminine voice. So that's something that I want to start really kind of digging into now that I've gotten farther along in my transition, where the things that used to give me dysphoria don't really give me dysphoria as much. And now that the dysphoria overall has started to go away pretty well, I've been looking forward to things that give gender euphoria, which is the opposite of gender dysphoria, whereby things actually give you a sense of joy in your gender. And I feel like voice training is going to be one of those things that will, over time, as I get better at it, will give me a greater satisfaction and joy in the presentation of how I articulate my voice. I've heard a surgery supposedly that can also do this for trans women, where they do something medical to your voice box, and that's something that I would possibly consider, but also I've also heard that it's extremely risky to do so, because if something goes wrong, you basically lose your voice altogether, or your voice becomes damaged, and I don't know if that's a risk that I'm willing to take. So, typical voice training of itself is a pretty standard route, and there's really not much that can go wrong with it, because you're just articulating your voice in a different pattern. Again, nothing in this video is medical related advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a YouTuber explaining my own personal experience. So if you have any medical related questions, please consult your doctor, not me. And then also, one thing that I've always wanted to do, so let me back up. When I first started this channel, I was wearing a wig. And that was because I was very early on in my transition, and I hadn't started yet to grow out my hair. And also, my hair was pretty far gone from male pattern baldness, which over time, and this is, different for every single person, but for me, a lot of the hair actually grew back and reversed part of the male pattern baldness, so I actually have hair on my head now. But it doesn't reverse it 100%, at least not in my case. So one thing that I was considering, which is also extremely prohibitively expensive, which is why I haven't done it yet, is the possibility of doing like a hair transplant, where they take hair from the back of the back part of your hair, and they basically, kind of plug it in, and then it just becomes your natural hair that grows out of that part. And I feel like that would really help take care of like the little bit of the widow's peak that I have, as well as this little area right here. Again, it's something that's prohibitively expensive, so it's kind of just a money thing is the reason I haven't done it yet. But that in itself is something that I would really like to do as well. So pretty much just those three things. Voice training, facial feminization surgery, and then hair transplant, reconstruction, whatever. I'm not familiar with the exact medical term. But outside of that, no, I think I've come pretty far in my transition goals. And I'm very proud of that, because it has been a journey for me. And I know I went a long time without posting any videos on YouTube about my journey. And that was for several different reasons, but mainly because I just didn't feel like I was in a place where I wanted to share everything. And I just didn't feel like uploading anything. So, yeah, that's basically all I got for today. If you enjoy my content, please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing videos. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.